Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing really well. So welcome back. So let's continue with this video. So in this video we will learn about multi-language support in your Android app, whether it is Jetpack Compose based or whether it is XML based, right? So we will be learning about that. So basically after the introduction of Android 13, so we got one new feature. So that is like we can change the language for the app from the system settings as well, right? So if I will show you in the settings, there are two ways we can change the app language. First one is using the system, then languages, then the app language. Here, if your app has that support of multi-language feature, right? If you have added that support, then your app will appear here, right? And for the similar thing, second way can be showing it from the apps and then selecting your app, and then here it will show language option. So these two are ways it provides us, like outside our app. Suppose if there is no language picker in our app, so outside of our app, it provides us these two ways from changing the language of the app from system settings and app languages or app specific language directly, right? And second way we can implement it like using the language picker. Suppose here on the click of this I will be implementing that, so we can implement that here directly, right? So I will be covering that thing here. So first of all we need to make few changes here. So suppose this is one first step we need to make. So basically in the Android resources we need to enable this generate local config. So then after adding this setting, our app will appear there in the system settings for changing the language, right? That option will appear there for changing the language for our app, right? And second thing can be this, we need to add inside the resources. We just need to create a new file, right? And then we need to like add the resources.properties, right? But now it already exists, I have already added, and then we need to specify this unqualified as locale. So en, so that will be the default locale to show in the system settings. So by default which language will be selected, for that we can add this option, right? So after adding these things, we need to add the values for each locale, right? Suppose how many locale we want to support for each locale. Suppose English, Hindi, French. So all these, for all of these we need to add the strings, right? If you see, this is for English, this is for French version, this is for Hindi. I have added all of these, right? These are pretty simple things you can do. So after that, if I go let's sync it, and then if let's try to install it again. And now let's go and check there. Suppose first option was there in the system, languages and app languages. So if you see social media feed Jetpack Compose, this app now appearing here, right? This is being shown here, and you can see the languages which we have added here, right? All these three, they are appearing here: English, French, Hindi, right? You can see. And second way was checking them directly from the apps, right? We can check that way as well. You can see, let's go here, and this language option is showing here. Earlier it was not there, right? Now here you can also see all these three options selected, right? From here also we can change that language. I will show you that as well. So first of all, and second way can be now, so how to introduce like these implementations. Suppose if I will be changing the language from here, right? Then how to get those changes inside our app, right? So now we will be going to work on that. So basically first of all I will be adding these three languages. Few icons I have added for them, like their flags, names, country codes. This is the simple list, right? And here inside this list I will be adding a simple drop down menu as well. So let's add that, a drop down menu. We will be using that, and whether it is expanded or not, that state, right? And then on dismissal, so we can set its expanded is one variable that is showing like if it's expanded or not, right? Suppose on dismiss we will be changing that to false, right? If you see, and clicking on that icon, suppose this link, it will be like triggering that. If it's not expanded, it will be expanded. If it's expanded, it will become not expanded, right? Here. and on dismiss as well we are setting it false, right? And its state will be determined by that thing, right? So this is a simple state, you can see boolean, right? And inside that, then what we can do is we can specify some modifiers as well. The what kind of modifier we can specify is like background maybe, but currently let's keep it just background colors. And what else do we need here? Yeah, I think we can specify if needed size and other things, but as of now let's continue with that, right? So now I have this list of languages, right? This one, this option, this language is a simple data class we have, where I have code name and its flag drawable, right? That's pretty easy thing to do, right? So now let's continue with that. And inside its item, what we are showing is like just the icon, its flag, and then just the text. This is its item, right? So now for all those we need to repeat languages list, right, dot size, because it requires count, right? So now, and it will be, we will be getting the item here by it, right? It will provide the index, right? Then we will be adding here drop down menu item, and so it's text. So inside its text, so we will be, what we'll be doing is we will be just setting out that list item which we created, right? And on click, so on click of that, what we will be doing is, so we need to change the selected item to the current item, right? And what else we need to do, oops, my bad, let's reformat it. We need to trigger on current language change. So here this callback, here that in that callback we will be making changes in the local system settings, right? So here we need to pass the its code, right? And third thing is like expanded, we need to close that. So let's toggle that, okay? All right, let's remove this to do and let's try to run it first. If you see, yeah, but little bit padding is missing there. So what we can do is, inside this, yeah, this, so basically we can add one row here, okay, and we can add them inside that row, and we can specify horizontal arrangement dot space between, right? And vertical arrangement as well, center vertically, right? If you see, now it's looking good, but still it will be not working, right, as of now. So now this is changing. If you see, this item is changing, but still language is not changing in our app. We have few things in language specific here, right? This heading, likes, comments, these things, 3 items, I have added them from the languages, so they will be changing according to the language change, right? Now let's move on to that logic. So first of all, let's add one class here. There we will be adding all the logic, language change helper, all the logic related to languages changes, right? So here we will be adding change language method, right? And suppose what it will be accepting, so it will be needing context as well, and second thing will be the language code string, right? And if we needed, we can set in preferences as well here, right, according to our need. But that way, if we will be changing this like from here, or that thing will be updated in the system, we don't need to use preferences for that. I will show you how. So let's apply some check here, because build dot version dot SDK int, you might be aware about this check. If this version is greater than 13, right, version dot codes dot tiramsu, right? So that is for the version 13. Else, for supporting the lower versions like less than 13, right? Okay, greater than equal to 13. So in for this, it provides like we need to get the system service for what? So it is the locale manager. It provides us this locale manager, and you know, if we are using system service from the context, we need to specify the class of that. If you see that service, right, which service we want to use, we need to specify the class of that. So locale manager is for changing the locales, right? So let's add that, and then applications locale. So here we will be updating that, right? Locale list dot for language tags, right? So this method basically what it do is it generates a new locale list with the given language tags. It might do some kind of additional operations here, like using the regions and other things, right? So we need to use this method, right? So language code we will be providing here, but internally it will be making some changes there as well, like picking the regions and other things, right? And then for this part, how we can do this, need to use the AppCompat delegate class, and then set application locales, then the same thing, right? So this is this one is the latest after Android 13. So this one, for the old one, we need to use the compat, right? Locale list compat, right? This change is done, and now what we can do is we can implement language code, this method as well, right? And similarly we will be needing these things here, right? And it will be returning the string, right? And it will be accepting the context, right? So if this is for greater than 13, right, if version is greater than 13, so then we need to use these locales dot, it will provide us a list, right? So we need to pick up the first one, right? Then that thing we need to convert to language tag, and so basically, as I said here, so whenever we are calling this function, it might add some regions and other things. So here we need to split them on the basis of hyphen, then getting the first then toString we can apply here if it is nullable, right? Or maybe we can apply check for null values as well, right, if needed. And similarly here we will be getting the getApplicationLocales, right? And then we will be doing this similar thing. So here we need to pick up the first one, right? And this, okay, all right. So then we can add that dependency here, language change helper by, let's add it by lazy, okay. And then here we can get the language code. We are in the application main activity, so we can add the application context here, right? And here what we'll be doing is language change helper dot change language, right? Again here we'll be passing the application context and then the new language, right? Let's try to run it. What is error there? See, okay, we have not returned, right? So let's go here. Something is wrong. So it can be nullable, right? So ideally we can just specify here our default code, like if any case it can be null, right? If you see now it's Hindi, yeah, that's looking cool, it's changing, right? Then French, you can see it's changing the language. This country is also changing. If you see, let's go to the English, likes, comments, and this, right? French, if you see, yeah, these are in the French. This one, right? It's changing. Now let's try out one more thing. So we have selected the French language from here, right? And if you see and check that in the app language, you will see that is the selected one. And if I change it from here, suppose I make it English and UK, and then I go to the app, if you will see it's automatically changing. And if even if I will rerun it, it will pick up that language. You can see, yeah. And similarly, if I go and change it from the system settings as well, this is from the app settings, then also it will be changing, right? System settings, languages, app languages, and then for our app, and again that we can change it, like suppose if I make it Hindi and then go to the app, it will be automatically changing to Hindi. So if they are synced now, if I will be changing it from here, they will be reflecting in the system settings. If I will be changing from there, they will be reflecting here as well. So if you see, this is very simple common logic which I have implemented. So whether it is Jetpack Compose based app or it is Android like XML based, so you can use this language change helper anywhere, right? So this is the Jetpack Compose based where I have implemented this. You can implement similar this language change helper in your XML based app as well, right? One more thing which I forgot to tell you. So we need to make one more change here. If you see in the Android manifest, we need to add this thing, like this service, AppLocales metadata holder service, for like adding that support related to the system settings languages, right, for our app. So we need to add this service as well. And don't worry about the code, I will put that in the description, link of the code in the description of the video, you will get it. So that's all about this. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and if you have enjoyed it, please like, share and comment on it. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. That will motivate me to create more videos like this. So I will see you in the upcoming video with another cool content. Till then, bye bye, have a great time, take care, keep coding.